Hey everybody, Roxabox9 here with more Magic the Gathering Origin spoilers. We have two new Planeswalkers that are pretty sure spoiled. Yes, they haven't been officially put up on the Wizards page, but they are posted with artworks from the new special, black, white, black, whatever it's called, Planeswalker kit here. And the artworks are all new. The frames are seem very legit for these kind of things. And the cards, for example, the Chandra one, are the Chandra that was previously 99% spoiled, pretty much guaranteed in this case, same Chandra. So it's very likely these are real, very, very likely. And so we should probably, it's again 99%. Wizards hasn't posted this officially in an article, so I can't say it's 100% guaranteed, but it's very close. Let's dissect the two of them. We have Nissa and Jace today. Nissa, Vastwood Seer, is 2 and a green for a 2/2. Elf Scout, whenever it enters the battlefield, you search library for a forest, basic forest, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, if you control 7 or more lands, exile her and return it to the battlefield as Nissa Sage Animist. Her +1 is reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. -2, put a legendary 4/4 green elemental creature named whatever onto the battlefield. -7, untap up to 6 lands. They become 6/6 elementals, and they're still lands. So what makes her interesting is that she is not exactly the run-to card that you want in the more standard constructed environments, because in a sense, she's good to start off. She's not terrible at all. 3 for a 2/2 that gets you a land. It's not a bad card by any means. But the requirement to flip her is quite high. You need 7 lands. It's not even like you have mana dorks that help along. You need to have 7 lands under your control and a land has to enter the battlefield for her to flip, which basically means during your turn, post her being out, although, I guess second main phase, whatever. Her abilities are actually on the Planeswalker pretty solid. Being able to play a land/draw card for +1 is not bad at all on a green walker. Getting a big creature is not a bad card at all, and then untapping a 6. So she's probably the most powerful, quote-unquote, of the walkers you've seen so far, although I think Liliana, honestly, is so far the most balanced and useful. She's probably the technically most powerful one of them all. I can see in her commander, particularly her being very good, especially because, early game, she's a nice ramp card. Late game, she's very easy to flip in a commander environment, and her abilities kind of feed into that environment as well. It's be interesting. She's also, of course, I think going to be a pretty strong card for limited, because the fact that she's a decent early on limited card, and if you get her later in the game, she's a really sick drop as these things go. Let's take a look at Jace. Jace is a little bit different. He's probably the weakest one we've seen so far. Jace, Virin's Prodigy, is 1 and a blue for a 0/2 human wizard. Tap, draw a card, and discard a card. So essentially a looter effect. You draw, discard. You don't have a May effect, so you have to discard. If there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, then he flips. Pretty simple to get to. 5 cards in a graveyard, especially in the environment where we have Delve existing and stuff, not a hard thing to get to at all. 2 for an 0/2, and then becomes Jace, Telepath, Unbound, and I think there was a bigger image of it. Here we go. Jace, Telepath, Unbound is a 5 loyalty, and this, I should mention, by the way, is a 3 loyalty, I believe. It's cut off here, but it looks like 3 loyalty, which is actually much worse in a sense than Jace. Jace flips over as a 5 loyalty walker. +1 up to 1 target creature gets 2 -0. -3, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn, and if it's put in the graveyard, exile it. -9, you get an emblem whenever you cast a spell. Target opponent puts top 5 cards, basically mill 5. So I think Jace having this mill factor seems, as an ultimate, it's pretty bad in a Delve environment. That being said, his second ability is amazing, both in terms of general use and in terms of commander. His first ability is obviously much weaker than most of these, walker effects. But at the same time, you have to realize these walkers are going to be weaker. 1, because they're in a core set effectively, and 2, because they're testing something here. They've never done this before. Having a walker creature, a creature that turns into a walker, new style, new effect. They really don't know quite how powerful these cards would be. Be interesting to see how pushed they get. Regardless, I think Jace, I think they're both very interestingly designed. Not exactly super powerful by any means, and Nissa particularly is a bit of egregious cost, but I think they'll fit into their different environments. I think they're interesting takes on the walkers. They fit the flavor. very decent designed, I think, for walkers, and it kind of fits this overall cycle. So I'm looking forward to seeing the last one. I think it's Gideon is the last walker here. Want to see what they do with him. Regardless, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about these cards. Do you like Chandra, Nissa, Jace? We have Liliana spoiled as well. What do you think of these cards? What do you think of these walkers? Do you think they're going to work out? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if you enjoyed the video, then please tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. As always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.